What's going on, guys? This is Jack with Gassed Up Garage. Today we're taking this Chinese pit bike and putting this Honda Grom motor into it. So today we're going to work on the fabricating the mounts to mount this motor up in here, because obviously it's not the same mounting process as the Chinese motor. It's a little bit bigger than that. So we're going to figure out some mounting, fabricate some mounts, cut some brackets, things like that, get that motor mounted up into here, and then we'll go from there. Alrighty, guys, so like I said, first things first, we're going to make some brackets to mount this motor up in here. As you can tell, the old mounting brackets are just not going to work. Like I said, it's a lot bigger of an engine. It's a little beefier. We got electric start on here. It's fuel injected 125cc. So we are going to have to incorporate a fuel pump onto this thing somehow. But first things first, we really have to cut this bracket up top because it's just going to be in our way. So we're going to cut that bracket out. We're going to get this motor out of here. And then we're going to see how we want it positioned and make some mounting brackets and get this thing all tightened up. All right. Beautiful. So we're probably going to just mount it further up because the motor does have to sit a little more forward than the other one. So yeah, let's get this cleaned up a little bit. And then we're gonna go ahead and put the motor back up in there and see how it fits and see if we can't use this old bracket. Alrighty, so now I'm just taking these plastics off on the back, just because that way we'll have a little more room and we'll be able to see this whole frame. We're gonna get this frame all put together with all the mounts and brackets and everything, and then we'll sandblast it and powder coat it, make it look real good, you know. Woo! Alrighty, those are cleaned up good enough for now. Once I have the frame all apart, we're probably going to cut some of these tabs off that we don't need, whatnot. So I'll go through and grind everything real nice before powder. But that should be good for now. Now we're going to take this motor, put it back up on that stand, and see where we need to mount things up. So let's give it a shot. Alrighty, guys. So after setting myself on fire and getting everything else together, we had a part of a Grom frame laying around. So we actually just went ahead and chopped the motor mount section off of the frame. And we think we're going to be able to utilize this in the frame itself to mock up the backside motor mounts. And then we can go ahead and just tie this all into the frame somehow. All we got to do is make sure we got clearance for the shock and whatnot. But yeah, when I was cutting this thing off, started my sweatshirt on fire real quick, no big deal. Cut to the clip. I was just on fire. Holy crap. Oh well. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna go ahead and see if this fits. Alrighty, well, it's looking like we're so close. So close. Alright, so grinded that side down a little bit. Now we're gonna go ahead and see if it fits. Look at that. It fits pretty damn good. That's right.
Really, Earl?
For the low price of $9.99. Alrighty, so I'm gonna go ahead and get that sucker all mounted up in there.
it in yet?
Sounds as if we're hitting something, so.
Oh. Well, there's your problem.
Alrighty. So now that we have that back portion mounted up in here like this, we can literally just go ahead and put this motor up on those brackets, fit the motor to those, see how we have to angle it, and then we're gonna have to support this, obviously, however it works. So let's go ahead and get this motor up onto this lift table again and see how we can't mount this thing up. So, according to my calculations, we might have a little trouble with this. Using some old hardware, no big deal. We're gonna have to pull this apart real quick. What we're going to have to do here is simply just take this and cut it off. He told me. I didn't believe him.
He didn't want to listen at all.
I didn't listen. And now look at the predicament we're in.
Now we got to pull the motor again and cut that. What are we going to do? Pull the motor and cut that?
Why would you pull the motor? Just cut it. Give me the grinder. I guess we'll do the same thing on this side as we did on that side, because we got problems. I have problems, but... All right, I'm going to cut this side now. Give me the grinder! I think I eyeballed that fucking perfectly. Look at that. That's 20/20 vision. All right, now that we have enough off, alrighty, now we have motor and frame.
That almost works out perfectly. What kind of clearance issues are we dealing with, Clarence?
So, I got a couple things that I'm thinking of because I'm trying to think ahead, obviously. I want this to be an actual good, functional bike. You know, full suspension that works. Everything works properly. I don't want to half-ass it. Obviously, you know, this is gassed up garage, but all I really am thinking about is throttle cable clearance. Fuel tank's going to be fine because that's all going to sit naturally. There's a lot of wiring that goes into this motor. I'm going to have to make a battery tray, figure out a dash location, things like that. I got to figure out pegs, foot mounts, brakes, everything like that. This is a bare frame with wheels. It's a roller. No brakes. Right now, my main issue is how I'm going to clock this motor. It's pivotable, which is great at the moment because I can pivot it to wherever I need. But basically, I need to figure out how the throttle cables are going to fit on here, how everything's going to work naturally, And I also need to be able to pull this motor because Groms are super reliable, but we beat the crap out of these things. So obviously I'm gonna have to pull it at some point, so I wanna make it practical. But so far, we've got a good base. We got the back brackets. We're gonna work on this front bracket real quick. All right. So now we're just making some little templates for the brackets that we're gonna be making. All right, so two identical, beautifully identical cardboard templates. Next, we're gonna get a measurement across the frame. We're looking at about 7 7/8.
Don't worry, he's got his safety slippers on.
Alrighty guys, so that wraps it up for today. We got everything put together. We got templates made for the top mount. We're gonna weld that top mount up and get these templates made up probably tomorrow. But otherwise, we did get all the back mounted up. We still gotta weld in supports back to here to keep this from rotating. Obviously, it's rotating on the swing arm right now. But yeah, that's really all for tonight. So stay tuned.
It's day 2 here at Gas Up Garage. Yesterday, we left off making these cardboard templates. Today, we made metal ones. So we're going to take these metal mounts that we cut out of metal, and we're going to put them on this rod, pole, thingy. So we've got this welding blanket here. I'm going to lay it down on the table just so we don't get any slag up on here. Next, we're going to pull out Old Reliable, the titanium, baby. Let's go hook this thing up to power. Check if we got gas. Not much. We're just hacking. It's okay. So we're going to get this thing all ready into place, clean the frame up a little bit, and we'll be right back. Alrighty, we got the welder all set up. We're ready to tack this piece into place. We got it all marked out where we need it to be, so let's get it tacked up. So we got that top mount tacked up into place. As you guys can tell, the motor is suspended by the mount that we just put in. There's no more strap holding it up. So now the big thing that we want to do is take this Grom frame section that I cut out. I really cut it out pretty bad. So I want to take it off and clean it up real quick. And then we're going to get some tubing connected to the frame so it can keep it from pivoting that motor. So let's go ahead. Let's get this motor out of here. Let's clean that thing up. And then we'll put it back in here and see what we got to do. Alrighty, guys, we just got done finishing up cleaning this frame that I cut off the Grom. It had a lot of sharp edges and rough cuts from when I chopped it up, obviously. But I went ahead and just shaped it up real nice and rounded off all the edges. So no worries on that. It'll be ready to powder coat when we're ready. Next, we're going to take this scrap metal that we found laying around the shop. Obviously, like that's what we're doing here, budget build. So we're taking this piece. I think it's from actually like a Harbor Freight tire machine, one of those, like, right, cameraman? It's, yeah, like the topper for the tire machine from Harbor Freight. Yeah, so this is the rod. But we're taking this, we're going to cut it up into pieces. What we got to do here is brace this Grom frame to the frame of the dirt bike because it pivots, obviously. So what we're going to do is take this, cut some nice angles, brace it up kind of where this junction is so it's all real nice and stiff to the frame. So yeah, I'm just going to get cutting on this and we're going to get this thing ripping. So I'm going to mark where I have to notch. So I'm going to notch like this. And then right there. So it gives me an idea of where I need to notch the pipe out so that it'll sit in between this frame nice and proper, and then I can weld it real easily. And just like that, we have a beautiful frame mount. I'm going to notch it out a little bit more so it sits a little straighter. I'm going to notch a little more off this bottom side, but we're going to do it the good way.
Give me the grinder.
Give me the grinder. Should fit a lot better now. Beautiful. That seems straight enough to me. All right, we got that side all mocked up. Next is the other side, which looks a little more intimidating because it is. But no fear, scrap metal is here. Let's get this side rolling. Alrighty. We've got a lot of notching to do on this one, as I figured. But that's all right. Every time. Alrighty, guys, we got these pieces all cleaned up and notched out. Got everything on the frame clean that we need to weld on, and everything's marked up, ready to go. So I'm going to go ahead and just tack these into place real quick, and then we'll be secured. Alrighty, folks, we just finished up welding in the back supports to the motor frame. Next, we have a lot of things to do. Obviously, we got to pull this motor at some point and weld everything completely. We got a lot of tabs to figure out, to cut off, to add. We do have to figure out an exhaust for this thing. As you guys can tell, it's very tight in here. So I don't know where we're going to run the exhaust. We kind of want to keep it like the dirt bike style, obviously, not have that Grom exhaust hanging down below, but we'll see what we can do. Otherwise, we got a long checklist of things to do. We got a fuel pump, fuel tank, things like that to figure out. We want to incorporate the dash into this thing. So lots of things to figure out, lots of things to do. But we do appreciate you guys tuning in for this video and checking out the budget China Honda Grom build. Otherwise, if you guys do like this, please give it a thumbs up and drop anything in the comments that you have to say about what we're doing wrong, or if you guys have any suggestions for us. Otherwise, Again, thank you for tuning in. We'll see you on the next one. Take care. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.